I admit it, I've got a thin skin. All right, so this is maybe, I don't know if this is an issue with you or anything along those lines, but I'm a people pleaser. I base my value on other people's observations of me. Isn't that sad? Isn't that a sad, terrible way to live? Do you do that? I don't know why I do it. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because my dad left me at the age of 7 and I've always been trying to win back his love ever since. I don't know. Who knows? I don't understand. I don't know. But it's annoying as crap. It's a terrible existence. And so I'm always trying to get over it because I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to like just put a finger up in the air and try and guess how people think about me. I mean, am I going to do that all the time? Do you know how hard it is to really understand how people think of you? It's almost impossible. I mean, you can't even really do it. I mean, sometimes I'm really worried about what somebody thinks of me, and they weren't thinking of me at all. And then sometimes somebody's mad at me, and I didn't even know it. That's really embarrassing. That, you know, they were upset with something I did, and I didn't even know it. So it's a terrible way to determine how you live. But I've been thinking about people on the other side of that spectrum. They're technically sociopaths or psychopaths. That doesn't necessarily mean they kill a bunch of people, but they have the opposite thing in that they don't really relate to other people's feelings. They don't care what other people think because for one reason or another they can't empathize. They can't do that. And you've seen these people. Now, oftentimes they drive, you've seen them on the road, you've seen them drive, I don't know, sometimes, I see it oftentimes in people that drive Lexus. Not all Lexus people, but some. BMW people, I see them too, a little bit, not all, but every once in a while, and you know, you'll see them, they like, they'll cut you off, they'll get right up behind you, they'll do goofy, crazy stuff. It's like you don't exist. And it's irritating for the rest of the world because you're like, look, I know you've got this fancy car and everything, but look, you're a citizen, I'm a citizen, we're sharing this road, no matter what car I drive or you drive. And I've seen it with other people. I've seen people that kind of like talk at you. They're not even having a conversation with you. They're blurting out words that have no relationship to anything that you say. You know, it almost seems like they're bragging sometimes. You know, they're telling you about their big house, their fancy purebred dog, you know. And I don't even think they're doing it to impress you. I think they're just doing it to talk. Like, they could have the same conversation with a tree or a mirror, and they would be just about as happy. They're just using words to fill the space. I don't know what they're doing. But I admire these people because a lot of times I see these people and they're successful. They're successful people. And I think one of the reasons they're successful is because they're not bogged down in what other people think and feel. Now, there's a big problem with that. I mean, that also is that extreme is a terrible way to live as well. I mean, you are part of the human race, you're part of society, you should be engaged and interactive with those people. But I think a lot of times people don't follow their dreams. They don't pursue what they want to pursue out of fear of insulting or angering or upsetting other people in their lives. So they just live the status quo. But not these people. These people couldn't care less. I mean, they haven't even made a conscious decision to not care. They just don't care. They can't care. It's like in their DNA or something. They can't possibly care about people. It's not their fault. They're just how they live. But that makes them potentially successful because they have goals and aspirations and dreams, and they are not slowed down by what someone else might think of those goals and aspirations and dreams. It plays no bearing on their decisions. And so what I'm suggesting to you is, if you are like me, if you're one of these guys with a thin skin, or women with, you're always worried about what other people think about that a little bit, and think about how that is not a great way of living either, because you're living an existence of somebody else's lives. You're a chameleon, and that's no way to live. And so what you need, I think, obviously, is to have a happy medium. Know when to turn that on and off. Be in control of that. Know when to care about what other people think, and know when not to care. Why would I care about what strangers think of me? People on YouTube. What would I care? Why do I care? I have no reason to care, because they have no relationship to me. They are not hurting me, helping me. They're nothing. They don't exist in my life. And so I try and turn that off. But, my mom, my wife, my kid, I'm trying to think about with them, try and be, thoughtful of them. So I'm trying to learn to turn that on and off, because if you do that thing and be able to not fear what other people think of you, you are going to pursue your dreams in a much more powerful, meaningful, better way. All right, everybody, I'm Sage Lewis, the Web Marketing Video Guy, and happy marketing!